President Trump hosting small business owners at the White House today, ramping up some momentum for the coming push for tax reform.
You thrive because you found something that you love to do, pursued it with all of your heart, and never, ever gave up. So important, you just don't give up. America is on the verge of a golden age for small business.
And small business is doing pretty well right now. Joining us tonight to discuss the president's agenda, the White House staff shakeups. Yes, there were some staff shakeups, as I recall. And Washington Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt here to guide us through it all. Good to see you, Charlie.
Hey, Lou, how are you?
I'm great. I love the optimism of this president taking up tax reform today as the House begins a 5-week recess. And the damn fools in leadership in both the Senate and the House are trying to pretend that they've actually achieved something. And neither the Republican conference and neither the House nor the Senate has the guts to knock on the doors. I was talking about this with a man I really like, and that's Congressman Ron DeSantis. I asked, why don't you kick in the door? Why are you putting up with these damn fools?
Yeah. No, it's really, really incredible, Lou. And I think for a lot of the Republicans, in particular the leadership on Capitol Hill, they still don't get Donald Trump, and they don't get his message, and they don't get that perseverance that we see from him today. Right. You know, when you think about everything that's been thrown at this guy, no politician, regular politician we've ever known would still be standing. The guy's still standing. He's still pushing forward, and I think he's embarking on what is probably, I would say, is even more important than any kind of health care reform. With dealing with taxes. It's something he knows about, and it's something that Republicans better get on board with him on this.
Yeah, they'd better, but the fact is, until they're willing to throw Ryan out on his ear and McConnell out on his ear, there's probably not much going to be done, because those guys have been bought and paid for by K Street and the Republican establishment.
Yeah, and I really don't understand what their sort of long game is in terms of not repealing Obamacare for so many years. And of course, the real scandal here is that all of those times that they voted to repeal Obamacare when they knew that President Obama was sitting in the White House and would veto any effort to undo Obamacare, they never had a plan. And it's so frustrating
they're
because
such
you take
frauds.
somebody.
I mean, they're such phonies, frauds. And they should, why in the world they're not being held accountable by the party? You know, Ron,
I don't know that they aren't. I honestly, we have yet to see what will happen in 2018, but I would not be surprised if very bad things don't happen to some of these people.
Well, nothing would excite me more than to think that McConnell and Ryan and the other, what would you call them, accomplices in leadership, would be held accountable. But I don't think that the Republican Party can wait to 2018. Somebody has got to move on these people and get them energized. If not energized, get them the hell out. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I wrote my column for in the Washington Times for tomorrow about I think Donald Trump, what he ought to do is he ought to issue an executive order tomorrow rescinding all of the loopholes that Congress and so many of the staff in Congress get to enjoy, that exempts them from so many aspects of Obamacare, or sets up premiums.
That's precisely what he's threatened.
Yeah, he should absolutely take all that away, and that will get Republicans back to the bargaining table real quick.
And very quickly, John Kelly, the new chief of staff, how hopeful are you that he will be able to turn things to efficiency and productivity and straightforwardness and discipline and shut down the leaks?
I'm very hopeful about it, and here's why. Because he brings that Marine discipline, but he's also sort of an outsider. He sees things as an outsider. He sees things as, how do we accomplish something? How do we get it done? He has very much the same mindset as Donald Trump himself. He's not, he's not an establishment guy, but he knows how to get things done, and I think that will benefit the president enormously.